What's going on, Domination Crew? It's Rico, and today we're going to be talking about how I find the perfect dropshipping products.
All these people are talking about wanting to sell you a lifestyle. We're here to sell you a life.
Selling on Amazon has absolutely changed our lives.
Alright guys, welcome to the channel. If you're new, my name is Rico. Me and my partner Dan, we talk about all things Amazon, whether that's FBA, private label dropshipping, just e-commerce in general. If you like that type of stuff, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Stick around for a little while. You might win something like a PlayStation. We give those out all the time. So, how do I find the perfect products to dropship? How do I go about my thought process in making sure that me and Dan make moolah and lots of it? How I find a perfect product is I go with things that I'm pretty freaking familiar with. Let's say that I'm very, very familiar with, I don't know, let's say The Nightmare Before Christmas, which I am a fan of. I absolutely love that movie. It's, a timeless classic, in my opinion. In my opinion, it's kind of trashy, but whatever. So let's say I know a lot about that movie. I know a lot about the characters, Jack Skellington and Sally and Oogie Boogie and all that stuff. So I'm like, all right, well, these are characters that I know a lot about, and I know people that are very into them, and I know some of the merchandise that sells behind them. So, you start looking into that specific niche, and then, that's my thought process. So I'm like, this is something that I'm very passionate about, something that I know a lot of other people are passionate about. So how do I cater to myself and to other people that are super, super passionate about this particular thing? I start finding products based around that. So, I'll check and see like, oh, there's a t-shirt, there's a hoodie, there's, like a tank top, there may be like little plush figures, throw rugs, which don't necessarily do that well, by the way. Bed sheets, which are kind of okay, but yeah. So I start going down that rabbit hole and I start picking at that point. So I'm like, all right, I'll engage with this supplier, I'll engage with that supplier, I'll check the Amazon statistics, I'll see, get my AMZ Scout Pro game on and see what products are selling, and not just particularly for that niche, but products overall. So let's say I want to sell like a Jack Skellington hoodie. I might not necessarily just look for sales for that Jack Skellington hoodie, I might look for sales overall of hoodies, in other categories, just to see if hoodies are things that move. Because if hoodies move in other categories, then I know something more specific tailored to Jack Skellington is going to move as well, if it's a hoodie of sorts. So you need to make sure that you're not just picking a product, a product niche, and then just being blind to other things that are selling. Because you may find something that you think is going to do really, really well, but the trends for other niches prove that that product isn't necessarily going to move. Typically hoodies, t-shirts, things like that move very, very well. Clothing items tend to always move. And just to give you a heads up, if you guys are looking for things to sell, then I would definitely recommend getting into something along those lines. Clothing specifically, shirts, hoodies, tank tops, and stuff like that. Not necessarily in whatever niche you're thinking, but they do pretty well. So that's how I go about my process. I try to find things that cater to something that I know about. And in turn, when I find something that I'm really, really good at, or something that I know a lot about, I start going down that rabbit hole. I start spacing things out. I'm like, all right, I know that within this niche, within this Jack Skellington niche, or the Nightmare Before Christmas niche, I know that these types of shirts sell really well. I know these types of plushes sell really well. I know these types of shoes or these items in particular sell very, very, very well. Let's check the sales data. Let's check the trends. Let's see what's going on. All right, so I know these are doing really well. Well, let's see how the Nightmare Before Christmas shirts right here stack up against shirts in other categories. Okay, shirts in other categories are selling extremely well. These guys are doing 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 shirts every month. So I know that based on this data, shirts are doing pretty well overall. So based on that, the Jack Skellington, shirts or Nightmare Before Christmas shirts should do pretty well also. They'll do well not only with people that are interested in the Nightmare Before Christmas, they'll do well with people who are just interested in shirts in general. They may capture someone's eye, because guess what? You're not necessarily going to be catering to just those people. There's going to be people that are browsing, because Amazon has a ton of traffic. They're going to come see your listing and they're like, oh, this is kind of an interesting shirt. I'm going to go ahead and buy. Same would go for something else, like an action figure or something along those lines. Somebody may be looking for, something pertaining to the Avengers, and then your product listing pops up like, oh, I have an Avengers Iron Man or something along those lines. Boom, there you go, you have a sale. You want to cater to a specific subset, but have it be almost general enough where everyone is going to buy. Everyone could potentially look at your product and buy. And, you know, I feel that for us, you know, like with clothing items, do very, very well regardless of whatever niche that they're in, because people are always searching for something to wear. And if your product happens to fall into that something to wear, you are probably going to do very well. So that's just, you know, something that I would recommend for you guys as far as finding the perfect product. It doesn't necessarily have to be clothing items. It could be anything. And that's just the process that you go down. First, you find something that you're really good at, or not necessarily good at, but something that you know a lot about. You start looking at products within that niche that fulfills that role of things that you know about, and then you start looking in other niches to see if those items are selling very well. Generally bland niches, and let's say you're, like I was saying, you know, let's say you're selling a Jack Skellington fitness shirt, you know, like one of those dry fit shirts, you know, that Nike sells. You start looking at other apparel, you know, like dry fit shirts to see if they're selling really well. If they are, then you know you have a pretty good product overall with your Jack Skellington shirt. So there you have it, guys. That's how you would go about finding things, finding that perfect product that caters to you and inside your niche. So before I leave you guys, I should say, because Dan's not here, check out the links below, man. Get into the, you know, the free Facebook group, man. This is where we drop a lot of knowledge on you guys, like stuff like this that helps you guys out on a daily basis. The free ebook. I don't know why you guys haven't got the free ebook yet. Get the free ebook so that way you guys can start selling on Amazon. With that being said, man, peace out. Gonna catch you in the next one.